Okay, so I'm going to get started here. And once again, for this beginning, very welcome for you to be on the video. And I guess maybe, mute now and at the end, if you have questions, I'm very happy to take questions. So, hey, everybody, my name's Lori Wald. And welcome to the Mindfulness and Law Society Wakeful Wednesday. I'm also going to be recording this at some point. So when if you want to turn your video off because you don't want to be on the recording, or maybe there may be a way to edit you out of the recording. I don't know exactly how that works, but I just like to have this on my website. So this is the Mindfulness and Law Wakeful Wednesday, and I am Lori Wald. And if you are interested I have several videos on my website, and my website's called Nothing Doing Daily. And if you've ever meditated before, I use nothing doing because sometimes it's really important that we sit and do nothing. And it actually helps us become more intentional, more aware of what's happening within us and what's happening in our minds and in our hearts. So I've just been noticing lately, I've been hearing this phrase frequently, and maybe you have too. I just have to tell you, I tested positive. And every time I hear it, and I've been hearing it a lot, right? My heart skips a beat. I get that clench in my stomach, my jaw. And it really affects other people really affect our nervous system. And even just a few little words can really change the way that your day is going, at least for that moment. So I notice, what's happening within me. And then I start doing that mental calculation of, when did I last see this person? How many days has it been? Who else have they been with? How are they feeling? Did they get that new medicine? Was it a PCR test? Like the thoughts just start going as they do. And what's happening within me is also interesting. All kinds of feelings fluttering around, right? Anxiety, nervousness. Am I going to be lucky this time again? I've been lucky so many times. When's my luck going to run out? Oh, when did I get that booster shot? All that stuff. So it's our nervous system, and it's a factory setting. We come by it honestly. We come from a long line of people with really great nervous systems who survived to allow us to, come about into being. So that's what I just wanted to give a little insight into that before we do our actual sit. And what I want to talk about is something called the window of tolerance. And maybe you're familiar with it, maybe you're not, but I'm going to have Joel put it up on the screen for me. So what you notice in the window of tolerance, there's the high part of the window of tolerance. I don't see it, but maybe I don't. Does anybody see it? There it is. Okay, it's coming. So the high part of the window of tolerance is what I'm talking about when someone says, I tested positive. Okay, you get that heart, your heart starts going a little bit faster. You're anxious. You go into flight or fight. You're trying to figure out, how am I going to beat this thing? Chaos, overwhelm, and everything's moving very, 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 very fast. And that's, we all know that feeling. And it's not that it's bad, but it's really important to be aware of that when that's happening. And it happens for all different kind of reasons, not just, when you hear someone say something that makes you nervous, but, you might notice something in your day. The car behind you is just a little bit too close to you. why are they in such a hurry? And then you start to go into that hyper arousal phase. The opposite of that is the low end of the spectrum. That's when you shut down and you just want to get back into bed and pull the covers over your head. You literally might get constipated. You feel low, depressed. Maybe you're very, very cold. And where we like to be is in what the technical term is the Goldilocks place, right? We want to be where it's just right in the middle, where we're feeling flexible and open, and we can really, it's just an easier place for us to manage from. So the reason that we have this meditation practice is so that we can practice noticing what's happening. Just start to tolerate those feelings as they arise. So we sit, do nothing, I like to say, and just notice where we are. And we're not, even when we're meditating, we're not necessarily in that middle, nice, flexible place. You might kind of bounce around a bit, but what's really important is it gives us an opportunity to notice, to see where we're at. So with that, and welcome to turn your cameras off now or whatever you're comfortable with. But find yourself in your comfortable and dignified position. And we're going to do 3 separate activities here. One is we're going to do just a little breathing, mindful breathing practice. Then I will do a body awareness scan. And then finally, we're going to sit in stillness. So if you could just notice your breath, the rise and fall of your belly, the way your chest expands and contracts, or maybe you feel that whisper of air coming in and out of your nostrils. We're just going to do this very gentle, mindful breathing technique, and all you do is you count to 10. Each inhale and exhale is the count of 1, and then on to the next. And it sounds a little bit easier than it is because you may get distracted before you get to 10, either by a thought or an emotion or a sound. And if you do, simply start again. And if you've gotten distracted, no big deal. Go back to 1. See if you can get to 10 this time. And this time when you get to 10, come back. You can open your eyes. Keep your eyes closed if that's more comfortable. I like this mindful breathing technique. We're not forcing anything. We're just noticing the breath and trying to stay focused on it. And as you sit in your comfortable and dignified position, start to notice your eyes. Allow them to relax. Your eyeballs relax. And your cheeks, the little tiny muscles, just allow them to relax. And now your jaw, which is a place that we often hold so much tension, and your tongue. Allow your throat to relax and the back of your neck. You feel your shoulders. And just see if you can let everything roll off your shoulders, everything you've been carrying around all day, all week, for a long time. And notice your arms and your fingers and the palms of your hands. And see if you can just allow all that to relax. Come up to your underarms and your chest. You might even notice your heart, that miraculous organ that pumps blood to every cell in your body. Let your belly relax, just let it go slack, the tops of your legs and your knees to your feet and the bottoms of your feet and the backs of your legs to your seat. And just let your seat relax. You've consented to sit, so sit and relax. Allow your entire spine to become relaxed and soft and warm. It's the perfect metaphor for everything we want. It's strong enough to hold you erect and flexible enough to let you bend. And now go back to your neck and the back of your skull and the top of your skull. And you're still having thoughts, of course, you're still having thoughts, but allow those thoughts to be a little bit softer. And maybe there'll be some more space between your thoughts. Now we're just going to sit in stillness. And I'll gently guide you from time to time in this practice. And of course, this is just a practice. We're only practicing. I always say I can never teach anyone to meditate, but I can teach you how to practice. Just take it a little bit lighter. It's not so serious, and it's really not so important. We're just trying to sit. And notice. If you recall that window of tolerance, notice where you are, in the red at the top, in the blue at the bottom, or are you in the Goldilocks spot? Just right. Maybe you're bouncing around a little bit, and that's just fine. Just notice. You could go back to counting your breath if that was helpful. And when something distracts you, just notice what it is and come back to your focus, to that neutral breath. Or simply observing what's happening in you. We're all connected in so many ways, not just virally infections, but also in what we give to each other through our words, through our emotions. We sit in this virtual room together, supporting each other with this practice, this focus, some serenity, some tranquility. We give and we receive. Thich Nhat Hanh spoke of, just as anxiety is contagious, so is tranquility and serenity, remaining calm. One person remaining calm on a sinking ship helps everyone on the ship remain calm to get to safety. Your anxious clients and colleagues can make you anxious, and your resilience and cultivation of this calming practice can give them something that they need back. So come back to your breath. Let's start again. And now for this last minute, just stop trying. I want to thank everyone for their practice. It's really important that we do this. I have a trickle-down theory of meditation. I feel if the most powerful people would do it, the world would be a better place. So thanks for joining me. If anybody has any questions, I can stick around for a few minutes.
Lori, I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
First, this was really good. How often do you teach this class? Well,
So I am teaching this class every once a month on the MILS. I have some others. I'm going to put my website in here just in case anybody wants to check anything.
Doing nothing daily?
Nothing doing daily.
Nothing doing daily. Okay.
Nothing doing daily. There you go.
Okay. Nothing doing daily. I wanted to ask you, I thought it was so interesting what you're saying about that Goldilocks zone. There are days where I feel like, like the dude from the bowling movie, the Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
Yeah, where he just kind of lopes around and does nothing all day.
Yeah.
Where I just can't get my head into the game to do work. I just kind of wander and clean the dishes or something. And then there are those other days where I'm so hyper electrocuted that I just can't stop thinking. Even when I go to bed, it's like I'm writing letters in my head. So what tips do you have to bring us up when we're just no energy, and to bring us down when we're so energized that we can't even function?
I just want, if anyone wants, I noticed in the chat, if anyone wants me to email them, just send your email address in the chat. Okay, so are you Josh or Joshua?
Joshua, if you can.
Joshua. So I think this practice is so much about accepting where you are. So I don't know that I have tips for getting you to the Goldilocks spot, but what I urge you is just to notice where you are. And we know, part of this is nothing's permanent, right? It's all temporary. So when you're in the Goldilocks spot, that's not going to last either, right? It's just all temporary. And trying to accept that is the practice. That's what's so difficult. I also think I noticed for myself that and this is from having a practice, I know I can be on my driving to the hospital to see a family member, and things are bad. Things are really bad. But I also there's a daffodil, and I can feel that spark of joy, even though I'm in a very difficult place. And I think that I've gotten, to be alert to those sorts of things through the practice, if that makes sense.
It does.
So it's, we're complex beings. It's not like I'm just happy or I'm just nervous or I'm often 20 things. And I think, that's enough, maybe I'll talk about that next time, like that, knowing emotional granularity is what what it's called, like to be able to say what flavor of anxious are you, like the Mexicans the Eskimos have 100 words for snow, right?
Right.
We should have 100 words for anxiety or depression. It's not like it's not all trauma and crisis, but it's, there's gradations of where you are. So, and I think that window of tolerance helps you see that too. There's a whole bunch, there's just a whole lot going on. So I don't know if that's helpful. I hope it is.
It is. It is. Thank you so much. I look forward to your next one. I'll check out your website.
Good. Yeah, let me know.